Here we go. Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome to the October 6th. I think it's October the 6th, right?
Yes.
Yes, Virtual Builder Town Hall. I am Meredith Oliver, joined by Matt Riley.
Hello, everyone.
Matt, of course, is the VP at Group 2 Advertising, and we are happy to have him. And we've got a bunch of other rock star panelists and experts and all kinds of awesome people we're going to bring on today to share ideas with you. And we want to hear from you too. So Matt and I were just chatting as we were getting the show warmed up and getting everybody in and situated. What's it like out there for you right now? We want to know. So do you see your market as hot, hot, hot? Do you see it as pretty steady as she goes? Where are you feeling? Let's have you go ahead, get in the chat box, write that in. Hey, y'all. Hey, Jill. How you doing? While everybody is saying hello and writing in how it is for you out there, I will explain where is my fabulous set? What is happening here? What happened? Well, I am in the Home Builders Association conference room at the moment because I am going to literally walk out of Builder Town Hall today onto an incredible set they've built to live stream the Parade of Homes Awards tonight. So I have on my fancy satin jacket and my fancy jewels, and I'm going to MC the live stream for Parade of Homes. So it's going to be pretty cool. So that's why it looks the way it looks. But Matt, your office looks good as always. Thank goodness for that.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's amazing that you can make a small room look like it's a studio, right?
You really can. It's pretty
I'm literally
amazing.
in a closet. I just want everybody to know.
I know. Matt is in the closet doing only 5 Zooms today in the closet, right?
That's right.
So we've had a few people right in here. Let me see. We've got hot, 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 on fire, hot but slightly cooling, as busy as I want to be. Yeah, I'd say that's about right for where we are in the market. So I just got a couple quick announcements, and then we're going to get on with our very first guest, who's going to give us some awesome insights into marketing, PR, and social media. So in case you haven't heard, which I don't know how that would even be possible, Meredith Communications has our very own virtual summit coming up on November 10th. So November 10th, save the date, yay! You'll see a lot of familiar faces from Town Hall as experts and at that event. And so we want you to be there. So Builder Growth Summit, buildergrowthsummit.com. If you register now, you can get $25 off once registration opens officially on October 10th. So October 10th, we're going to open registration exactly 30 days to the event on November the 10th. See how that works, Matt?
Are you in marketing?
I might be in marketing. Yeah. So Matt, as you all know, Group 2, you guys do home builder tech. Yes. And you did one of the first virtual versions of an event early in this year.
I think we were the first event to go virtual.
It was
a lot of Zoom time.
It really was. Yeah.
It was good.
It was really good. Yeah. So we're going to do one, and I'm excited about it, and I'm looking forward to it. So one thing that's a little different on what we're doing, it's not just marketing. So there is a sales track for your salespeople, and there is a marketing track for your marketing folks. So we want all parts of the organization to get energized, excited, and ready to go for 2021, whatever it brings. So sign up your whole team. Okay, commercial's over. All right, so at this juncture, I am going to bring in our very first guest. So let me get her video going and get her unmuted. There she is. So may I introduce to Builder Town Hall, Maria Chrisovergis of Maria MC PR and Marketing, right?
That's right. Hi, everybody. Hi, Meredith. Hi, Matt.
Yeah, so if you aren't familiar with Maria, she is a marketing, PR, social media rock star out of Jacksonville, Florida. We have shared a client in Glen Layton Homes for many years. Maria handles their PR and social media and other marketing duties as assigned, right?
I've worked with Glenn for a long time, yeah, and we've just evolved from traditional marketing into this digital world, and it's been a lot of fun, and obviously working with you as well.
Yeah, we do Glenn's website, his SEO, general digital consulting, and honestly, the two of us, while some of people might have seen it differently, you and I have always seen it very much as colleagues and partners. And I've so enjoyed working with you over the years.
Well, likewise, it's always fun. Sometimes that collaboration when you have two different agencies working together, I'll be honest, it doesn't always work well. And sometimes there can be a power struggle. But having sat in your classes, I value the expertise that you bring. You really make us look better. And I feel like, we also help complement the work that you do. And of course, Glenn just makes it super easy because they build homes here in Jackson.
He builds incredible, gorgeous custom homes. The design, the color scheme, everything about him is pretty cool. Yeah. So if you want to see some beautiful product, Glenn Layton Custom Homes would be a good one to check out. So over the last 30, 45 days, Matt, at Group 2, myself, you, the three of us marketing folks, I mean, I definitely think my clients have been asking for kind of a shift, or not asking, but just telling me there's a shift. We are low on inventory if we have much left at all. We are needing to come up with messaging and content to drive our blogs, our social media posts, our PR. And if we're not like, come to this open house, come see this quick move-in, what are we talking about? And so this is when I thought, I know exactly the person to ask this question to, because I thought, Maria, you would be ideal to kind of help us explore, for those of you that are listening, if you are needing to make that shift and you're just used to kind of pushing product, what do you talk about if you're not moving inventory home? So that's a very big, broad question. We're going to drill into it, but I'm going to let you lead off with that thought.
Yeah, and I think it's important, even if we're not talking about the current climate that we're in, where the market is hot and there's not a lot of inventory out there, whether you're talking about resale or new homes. You never actually really want to just sell on social media.
Agree.
When you go back to, we talk a little bit about the evolution of marketing, a little bit earlier, but when you go back and just talk about the evolution of social media marketing, Facebook was really a platform for people to connect with their cousins that lived across country, or their high school friends that they just haven't seen in years. So at its core, it's supposed to be a fun and social platform. And if all you're doing is sell, you're really missing, I think, an opportunity to engage in a deeper level with your audience and with your prospective buyers. And furthermore, if you're not engaging with them and you're really not giving them an opportunity to connect, and by connect, I mean like, love, care, thumbs up, thumbs down. I mean, those all feed into those algorithms. If you're not giving them that type of content, then likely that your content's not going to funnel through the newsfeed. So, it's sort of an approach that we've taken over the past 10 years of running the agency. Educate, empower, and entertain.
Okay.
Right now, you really have to make sure that you're, more than ever, I feel like, you need to make sure that you're talking about all three of those that we put in that three-pronged approach, if that makes sense.
It does. Matt, with your builder hat, coming from also having, Maria worked at a builder before she started her agency. You've worked in the builder space as well. That educate piece she just mentioned, what would be some current topics, and of course, Maria, chime in, that we would want to be educating on right now?
Yeah, I mean, from from the builder perspective, obviously one of the things that we see all the time is people come in and they have no idea what that home buying process looks like, A, as a whole, and B, how to think about actually building a house, especially when we think about shifting from there's no inventory of buy this home to you got to build, because everybody has a mom, sister's cousin's aunt who built a house and had a horrible building experience. And they have no idea from a how to buy one, and B, how to even build one. And I think starting from as simple as a building block as that, and then going out from there is there's going to be massive amounts of content to produce from that.
And then Maria, if you think about then layering on the whole COVID, how does that impact what I already don't know how to do? Oh my goodness, is there a lot of education that we could be doing in our content?
Oh, 100%. I mean, I feel like at least here in the South, because we're still outside and it's so beautiful, we're kind of, I don't know, I feel like we're starting to get this like false sense of security until it gets to that point of doing business and walking into a model home or walking into a design center. So that opens up a floodgate of content, just showing people what you're doing and how you're moving virtually, and how you're, still executing things with your clients or prospective clients, and still being very safe about it. But then also talking about, how this pandemic is really affecting the market, and market to market. I know it's different, but here in Florida, we have an influx of people who are moving from congested areas. And that makes great content. If you have one of those home buyers, it's funny, we talk about right now, like one of the hot sort of terms is doom scrolling. People get sucked into this rabbit hole of going through Facebook, and it becomes very heavy. So providing content that is sort of fresh and enlightening. And so one of those stories might be, well, that guy who just left New York and moved his family to Ponte Vedra, Florida. Talk about what life is like in Ponte Vedra. Talk about how different it is living near the ocean, living in an environment where you're not cramped and on top. I tell our clients, think about those Dateline type stories that we all love to watch. You can tell that in a social media campaign. And something else I often tell clients is, American Idol was shot completely off of an iPhone. So you don't have to worry about your budget in hiring a video production crew. Shoot testimonials off your iPhone, and just kind of keep it lighthearted, because that's what I feel like everybody needs right now.
Yeah. So your first E was educate. And so then the next one is
empower.
Yeah. So what kind of content is that? What does that look like?
So it's kind of a little bit about similar to what Matt was talking about, empowering the buyer to what they need to know before making that appointment, sort of qualifying themselves, talking about the market, what are the rates like, and also just making them feel good and feel ready to pull the trigger. The more you get that lined up, you're setting your sales agents up for a much easier conversation. So that's sort of that empower piece. It obviously aligns itself really nicely with the educate, but it kind of takes it a step further.
Yeah, it sounds like to me, Matt, what she's saying really is like, what's next? So if I educate you, it's safe to buy, it's fun to buy, this is a great place to live, here's how you do it. Empower is you can do it. You can do it. We're here to help. Yeah, it's got a little bit of that inspiration piece in it, right?
Absolutely.
And what do sales agents do? That's how they reel them in. And so I always go back to that video component of let your sales agents tell that story. Allow them, again, pull up their iPhone and really give them their elevator pitch. Tell them about their community. Tell them about the model that they're sitting in. Empower them and get that fire in their belly where they're ready to, make the appointment or give them a call.
Yeah, that's right. And so much of what you're saying, as you guys are listening to this, think of it this way. We used to say sales and marketing, two sides of the same coin. And now I almost feel like it's the same thing because marketing today is so one-to-one. It's one person to one. The more personal I make it feel, the less I make it feel like an advertising campaign, the more I shoot a video as a salesperson. Yes, it's marketing, and yes, it's selling all at the same time. It's the same thing, right?
Yeah, and a lot of the research even shows that people want to buy from people that they feel like they connect with, right?
Yes.
And they're less likely to take advice or, or a review of the company from the CEO as they are somebody who's from a different perspective, or again, another home buyer. So that's why, again, I think that testimonial piece is huge and brings so much value to social media marketing.
Yeah, Matt, anything you guys are doing or you've got clients doing in this kind of empower, any examples or thoughts come to mind on that you guys are experiencing?
Yeah, so we were actually discussing that exact thing this morning and talking about particularly like messaging in your brand's voice. Because especially I think that the empower, all three of those, educate, empower, and entertain, but especially in the empower and entertain with the levity of where, or the gravity of where we are right now, and still the midst of a pandemic. We have a presidential election. I don't know if anybody knew that, but November is the election. Facebook,
I didn't know that.
Facebook's sole purpose is to ensure that I register to vote.
Apparently.
But, really kind of taking that voice and making sure that messaging and bringing making it feel a little lighter, right? And giving them that escape into something that's not politics or not COVID related, something that's going to help them better their lives. That's, I think right now is what it's all about.
Yeah, especially when the better your life aspect that we're offering is turned out to be the hub. I mean, a home has always been the center of our, of our world. I mean, Maria's heard me close many speeches at the Jacksonville SMC with, talking about like, where were you? What was your first thought on 9/11 when we were all doing that? And our first thought was, I have to get home, because home's been at the center of our lives for so long. But then we got quarantined in it 24/7, 365. And holy cow. Yeah. So what we're offering really is that central aspect. So then the lighten, what was the third, the lighten up part? Tell me the third again. Entertain. Yeah. So the entertain, I mean, how do we do that and still be professional? How do we do that and it still tie into what we do as a company and not get like really wacky? Talk to me about the entertain.
Well, I love, Matt, you just brought up a really great point, and it's finding out what is your brand voice. If you're a custom home builder, obviously you don't want to take it too far. But again, I think in the environment that we're in right now, you really can probably push the envelope a little bit further when it comes to humor, because they just need the comic relief. There's just so much heaviness and darkness all around us. So, it really is very specific to each brand and each company and each builder. But, creating your own memes, just doing something and I hate to say it because I think it's really cheesy, but even I think what you do, Meredith, with your shoes, like find out like what is your shtick? And just get out there and promote something that's fun, because I will tell you that is the shareable content. People aren't going to share your campaigns about kitchens, and people aren't even going to share your campaigns about the testimonials. But if you can find something that's funny and that's likable and bring somebody a smile, that's the stuff they're going to share. It's hard to kind of tell a broad audience.
It's individual. A couple of our clients have had really good success, and it wasn't our doing, it was their doing with pets. They have a mascot that it's the owner's dog or somebody's dog in the office, and they take the dog around and put it in, safety vests and all the fun things. And that was one angle, that particular builder chose.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Something kind of funny. It was actually a builder that partnered with a mini storage place just to help people like who needed to downsize, whatever. But it was just a picture of two women that we found in Photoshop or stock photo. And she was telling her friend, she's like, "Oh, Bob said that he needs more space, so I bought him a storage unit at ABC Mini Storage." I mean, we reached like 10,000 people in one day because everybody thought it was hilarious and they're sharing it. So that's the kind of, just something that's funny.
Just funny, Matt.
Not taking yourself too serious. A 20-second story is my old home building company called Royal Oaks Homes, and we were announcing a new community coming on board, and the on-site sales agent, we pretended it was a news report, and it was Corey, and so she was the anchor and through to the reporter. It was the on-site person, and he's announcing that we have this new phase, and here I come creeping out of a tent behind him, like jumping up and down, celebrating that the lots have been released, and end up like tackling him on camera because I was wanting to claim that lot. And that got, 50, 60,000 views. And I would be in the neighborhood months and months later in the model home, and a customer would see me and they'd be like, "You were that guy on the video." And they absolutely remember what that is. And just not taking yourself too seriously, I think, is key.
Yeah. My personal brand strategy has always been, I take my clients seriously, I take our results seriously and our work seriously, but not myself. Yeah. And I know that's a little easier on a personal brand than a company brand, but I think it's worth exploring. Early on in Builder Town Hall, we had Abrazo Homes on as a guest. And if you ever want to see a company doing amazing social and video work, check out Abrazo Homes' Facebook page. Maybe somebody can put the link in comments for us so everybody can check it out. But they do a great job of, obviously, they love what they do. They take their building homes and their customers very seriously, but not themselves. And I think they would be a nice case study if you're trying to kind of find what is that line. One thing too, I recommend for you all is just, I know it's a little painful right now on Instagram or Facebook, whatever channel, there's a lot on there that isn't super pleasant. But if you want to learn how to do this better, you have to pay attention and follow some brands. They don't have to be home building companies. What are your favorite brands? What voice do they have that you like? And just watch what they do. Watch what they do. I think Starbucks generally has a pretty cool voice to their brand. And, they'll have like two lattes talking to two cups, like talking to each other. And you're like, what is going on here? But it makes you want to order one. Right? So you can learn from outside our industry, and I recommend that you do.
Yeah. And I think also, Meredith, if I can, don't think of them as like a one-off. A lot of times when we start to work with a builder, it's like there's somebody who's sitting in an office who every day comes in and just kind of blasts something out as a one-off, as like a throwaway. Think in campaigns.
Yes.
When you set it out that way, one, it just helps, I feel like it helps organize your thoughts, but it also sort of trains your consumers from a branding perspective of what to expect and how they just sort of connect with the brand. And then obviously change up those campaigns from month to month. But too often I see builders just using it as a one-off. Oh, it's a great picture of a outdoor living space. Let's slap our logo on it and throw it out. It's gotta be more well thought out than that.
Yeah. And because honestly, we are so busy, we don't really pay very close attention. So, you could really use that same picture 5 different times and ways. And on about number 5, or maybe number 10, somebody might remember it and put your name with it. Don't you think? There's Yeah. And I'm not saying repeat exactly the same post. Please don't misunderstand anybody. But you could take that same, like we call a piece of content, that snackable content, and you could leverage it into multiple posts, into more of a campaign. that would really actually kind of make a dent in the universe of what we pay attention to. Now, the other topic that I want to bring up is, you know, and most of our clients, most of our builders, they aren't saying this, but I feel like kind of all of us in the back of our mind, kind of to ourselves, are just like, I'm so over it. Social media. I'm so over it. I hate Facebook. I hate Instagram. I hate LinkedIn. I hate it. I hate it. However, all of the ad campaigns we're running, the numbers are terrific. The impressions, the clicks, all the different analytics that you measure, the engagement. Every time I Google latest Facebook usage since COVID, it's skyrocketed. So I feel like it's a train wreck we can't stop watching. Like, we protest, we don't like it, but at the same time, it's kind of like one of those, like, kind of your what do you call it, guilty pleasure TV show, like Housewives of whatever. You can't stop watching it, but you know it's a gigantic waste of time.
But unfortunately, and I say this unfortunately because I'm a former TV news anchor, it is a majority of the American population, it is their news source.
Yes.
So that's another reason why they're in it. And when builders aren't using it to its fullest potential, shame on them, because people are on it every day.
Yes.
I always go, what do they have to do? They're spending 2 hours a day on Facebook, but
I know.
But people are.
I know. So I know that, you know, for each of us, there might be a little voice in your head. This is now passe. This is old stuff, or nobody's really, the analytics say something different. They say the same thing about email marketing. They say the same, you know, there are certain things that are still absolutely all working well, depending on who your audience is and what you're trying to accomplish, of course. But Matt, we're still getting really strong numbers out of our organic and paid social campaigns.
Yeah, we're seeing it as one of the leading, if not across the board, one of the leading traffic and lead generators out of everything. I mean, we were just on a call earlier today, and you know, for a month we got our message in front of over 650,000 people on, you know, in a dialed in targeted campaign.
I know,
you know, for a couple $1,000, you know, it's just it's the cheapest way you can get in front of eyeballs right now. And who cares if Facebook goes away, because something else will come along and that's where the eyeballs will go and that's where we'll adapt.
Right. I mean, if anybody should understand being where traffic is, it is people that sell and market new homes, right? I mean, so that's what you guys, you know, I want you to think about is, yes, this is, it is a bit of a train wreck at the moment. We do need to get through the election. But, you know, if just weather through that, ignore it all, and keep doing your content marketing on there, because it is where people are going for their entertainment. It's where they go for their news, as Maria just said. It's where they go for their social connections. I mean, the analytics still support it as very broadly used. Maria, as we kind of start to wrap this segment up, what are some tips or strategies, things you want to make sure you told us just as we're utilizing this tool in this time, this very unique time? What are some other things for us to be thinking about?
You know, I guess I kind of want to go back to building brand advocates. If you're not looking at your analytics on your social media pages, you're really missing what your audience is hungry for, what they want. That will tell you, that will dictate the social media content that you should put out there. And across the board, we represent builders, you know, across the country, not just here regionally. And those testimonial campaigns are huge, because every time people trust people who are like them. So if there's just one tip, if you don't take anything else away, I would say, you know, go through your database and pick out 20 of your best customers over the past couple of years, because you'll likely only get 10 of them to really respond. and build out a testimonial campaign. That will go a very long way, because if you're getting bad reviews and that does happen, it kind of balances the equation, and it's nice to already have those. So
Yes.
that's my tip.
Yeah, it does. And to your point, using our shared client in Glen Layton Homes, I think one thing we discovered was every time we posted, or you posted an exterior, one of his gorgeous exteriors with his very cool front door colors, the post went wild. And then if it linked over to the website analytics went wild that we were working on. Like Glenn would paints his front doors these beautiful like turquoise, or this beautiful brick like Key West yellow is what I call it. It just makes you want to live there. And that was content that we would look at the reports and go, okay, more front door pictures, please.
With the Sherwin-Williams paint color, and that went viral. I mean,
it went viral.
Yeah.
And that's not complicated. That's not hard. That was an easy thing. That didn't cost millions of dollars to do, but it was because we were routinely looking at the numbers, looking at the reporting, and paying attention. Mm-hmm. And so as we kind of wrap this part up, I mean, that's really important for all of you is, yes, you're going to spend time and money doing the social content, but then are you putting the time in to review and refine what you're doing so you can really drill into it? Matt, any last thoughts on this topic before we switch up?
No, I think that's right on track. I mean, as the marketing legend Seth Godin says, people like us do things like this, right? And so, testimonials speak volumes.
They really do. All right. Well, everybody, please in the chat, give Maria some love for coming on to Builder Town Hall today. Thank you. I appreciate you. Enjoy working with you. And I'm sure I will be talking to you on a Zoom meeting soon.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys.
All right. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Okay, so next we are going to bring up Kerry and Kristi. Let's get them up on the screen here. Ask to start video. Sorry, I'm narrating while I'm doing it. Okay, here we go. Woohoo! All right, so if you joined us after it got started and you wonder, where is my nice office and why is she wearing an Elvis jacket and jewels? I'm stepping out in a few minutes to do the Parade of Homes live stream awards event. I'm here at the Home Builders Association today. I have brought my entire setup here and it's all working so well. I'm so excited. But anyway, so that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. So, okay, for this next segment, Kerry, I'm going to let you take the lead and tell us about our very special guest that we have.
Oh, I'll tell you, when this was all decided and then I got to introduce her, I'm like, yes, because I love this child. And when I say child, I've seen Kristi through all the years from young to like be this entrepreneur, builder, woman of the year kind of person. So the thing about Kristi Allen that I think I'm going to let her talk about herself is her beginnings in this came from her father and as a family builder. And a lot of who she is today is because of her dad, which to me, that's just a really cool story. Mm-hmm. And although we're going to talk about something that's happening in Utah, that's like big stuff, the house that she built, not meaning she built like a million she's. Yes. So pretty cool. I first would like Kristi White talk about how you became who you are today.
Yeah.
In a nutshell. Yeah. So I was lucky to grow up in the home building industry, which obviously has biased me. I think there's really no better industry in the whole world. So I feel really lucky. I started when I was about 12 years old, working in the office, doing all kinds of things. I ended up getting my real estate license and selling. I met Meredith when we were both basically teenagers, I think. And was able to be mentored by her, which was amazing, and met so many other awesome women in the industry. Jane Marr was another one who I met really, really early on. Ended up running our design studio. anyways, time went by, and a lot of circumstances led to me actually being able to start my own home building company. So going from mostly working in sales, marketing, technology, design, to running my own home building company, including being the one who was on site. I'm the general contractor for my company. So that was kind of a wild ride and a huge change, and so invigorating, so amazing, so hard. And I love it. So I love being a general contractor, and that's kind of the message that we're sharing with the house that she built, is that there's all different ways for women to be in construction.
That and the role that you play, and you have mentored other people in playing. But what I am finding interesting with all the women that are on the house she built, which we'll talk about that and we'll introduce that concept, is that when you were reaching out to all the different trades and all the different facets of building a home, you could find a woman in every single facet. And where I got a little chuckle is the hardest one was a plumber.
That's right.
So I always say, ladies, go find a niche. So if there aren't any female plumbers, there you go.
Yeah.
But all kidding aside, you were able to find that many. So tell us the story about, I mean, I know that you're currently the chair of PWB, and how that transitioned into, which, little plug for Professional Women in Building, not to just use the initials. Like Meredith, you and I laugh. People go, what's a MERM?
Yeah. Yeah. I was just about to say PWB is.
Yeah. Here at the Builder Stone, you've got all these things. It's like, yeah, I just learn an alphabet because it looks fun. But so Professional Women in Building is a fabulous organization. And I would be remiss if I did not plug that right now for everybody to look into that. But talk about the correlation between chair of that and the house she built.
Yeah, so it was we got a new committee started here in Utah Professional Women in Building, and a friend of mine, Kristen Smith, was our first chairwoman, and I was her co-chair. And there was a meeting, it was a board meeting mostly with men, and they were kind of talking about, oh, what are you guys gonna do as a council? What are your ideas? And they kind of threw it out there almost as a joke, not in a demeaning way, but like, oh, you could build a house with all women. And Kristen was like, yeah, we could do that. I think we could do that. And so she brought it to the council, and we got together, and it's been 2 years in the making. Honestly, it has not been an easy pursuit to find women in every aspect of home building, but we have been able to. And we've been finding these amazing women who are flourishing in these careers. And we really want to share that message and show that to other women and girls that might not have been able to imagine themselves in that position.
Right.
I went through something similar. I had been so much in sales and marketing that I had never imagined myself as a general contractor. It had never occurred to me that I might like to do that. And I just kind of got like thrown into it. And then it turns out it's what I love. It's what I'm passionate about.
Boss people around?
What's that?
You like to boss people around?
Well, that is true. Yes, I do like to do that. But I love being on site. I love getting my hands dirty. I love being part of that whole construction process. And so because I did that, now, I've had other people who have seen me, or like my daughter who's seen me, who wants to build homes. And it made me realize, like, when you see another woman doing that job, it makes you more likely to be able to picture yourself in that position. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to show all different women in all different parts of construction, so that somebody can see that and think that looks amazing. Yeah. I really want to do that.
And the key that you said there, Kristi, that Meredith and you and I both understand, is the things that our children learn early on that they're exposed to. And really, that's like kind of, I still say when I'm doing sales training and coaching, but I really am impressing it on my grandchildren, that, and I did with my daughters, is stay curious. And when you're young, if you're filtered through, this is what everybody does, they go to middle school, high school, college, like, where are you going to school? Everybody asks a senior. And all of a sudden, getting the vocational program and just the early on, like, I look at Brady, Meredith's son, and he is a curious child. And right?
Yep.
And he has been for a very, very long time.
Yes.
And how you open up, what are the opportunities that you can do? You know, you mentioned, is it Elodie? Which one is it that thinks
Yeah,
that-
it's Elodie, my youngest. She ever since she was little, she was coming on the job site with me because I started before she was in school. So of all my kids, she's seen construction the most firsthand. And she's always wanting to teach her things and interested in being a builder. Just about an hour ago, my 12-year-old was in here and I was doing a takeoff and she was asking me how some of that worked and how the math works in figuring the steel for the foundation and things like that. So it's just seeing it.
Yeah.
That
Well,
makes me
and
think
again,
about-
exposing them. I'm busy, come back later. Instead, I'm interested, so show me how. So if we go to the house she built, there are some really cool things behind it, like where the money's going. And, you know, I am so fond of this project because of what the end result is. So I want to talk about where the money is going to go that you're going to raise from this home. But here's something I don't know. Are you building it for someone?
Good question. So we aren't building it for actually someone in particular, but we did in our meeting sort of imagine this family that we might be building it for, because we really wanted to personalize and to cater to this imaginary family that we'd created and how this was going to fit their needs. And we've done a lot of unique things with the home, so it's going to be really fun to see. It'll be in our local parade of homes, which also does a virtual event. So people will be able to take virtual tours of it. So I'm excited to share that. But the proceeds are what are going to be really amazing. So most of our materials and all of our labor has been donated by the people who are involved. And we're still receiving constantly messages from people who want to donate or sponsor or be involved. And so we're going to build this home for very little. We probably will earn about $300,000 or more from the build. I know, right? Woo! And we're going to use it for a great cause. So we're 60%. We're going to use towards scholarships for women in construction. So we can do so much good.
I know. I got goosebumps right there.
I know, right?
That's incredible. That's incredible.
And so our council will have a committee that will disperse those scholarships annually. They will be for women in construction management programs and for women in trades programs.
Oh.
So we're super excited. And then another cool thing is 20% of those proceeds are going directly to a local charity here that works with women who are escaping a domestic abuse situation. So families, women. And we're hoping that we're going to be able to sort of partner those two things together. So 20% will go just to support that program. But then we are going to offer these scholarship opportunities to some of those women who may be interested in creating a career, creating a niche for themselves in construction, and they'll be able to apply for the scholarships as well.
I just,
And make it a way for women.
yeah, you know, painting, great.
What phase are you in on the construction? I'm
question.
not clear on that.
You're just getting started, which is really fun. So we've excavated and it was a ball. And Thursday we're pouring our footings. So
Okay. And I put for everybody, I put in the chat
Yeah.
links to their Facebook page, Instagram, and an article about it. Kristi and I have been talking about Meredith Communications working on a website for the project. So we're going to get that going and be proud to supply that. But in the meanwhile, you can definitely follow them on social. And, you know, Kerry, that's kind of, I mean, I loved the project and the concept. And of course, I love professional women in building, but the marketing that you guys are doing for your social content, kind of relating back to our first segment today, is so strong. And so it caught my eye and got my attention amidst all this noise. And of course, I saw you and I want to know what you are doing because we've been connected for years, but it's very good. The look, the feel of the like the logo and everything you're doing there, it's very well done, which of course doesn't surprise me. You've always had a really good, you and your team there, good feel for marketing. You kind of came up through the marketing side of the business. So
yeah. Well, I also have to give credit. The logo and the name were not my idea. It was actually group 2.
That's right. I was hoping you were going to.
Molly,
I know. There you go.
Molly, I'm like the odd man, literally the odd man out here.
Wow.
Molly
Yes.
needs to be sitting here. She's on the call, but Molly
Yes.
yes.
yes,
Yes.
Molly's my
So-
hero. She came through and helped us create all that branding, and
It's gorgeous. It is
because
beautiful.
that's not what we're doing in construction.
Mm-mm.
She made it
No.
exactly what we wanted, and her team is
No.
beautiful.
I mean, it's like that look is so, I mean, the minute I saw it, I was like, oh, it
Yeah.
just resonated with me. It didn't feel cliche or, some of the things that sometimes female related things feel,
Yeah,
which is fine.
right.
I mean, I'm wearing a pink satin jacket. It's
Right,
fine. But it just, it's very good. It's beautiful.
and
And,
I think-
go
Oh,
ahead. Sorry,
ahead.
Carrie. No,
No,
go ahead.
I think that in jumping into like your jacket, your jewelry, your shoes,
Yeah.
the brand voice, and
I'm going to
that's
put my
what
shoes
Molly-
on.
Yeah, there you go. You got to run.
I do. Go ahead. Keep going, you guys. You're doing good.
Molly in group 2, which people need to understand how and when they should listen to other people who do
Yeah.
what they do best. We don't
Yes.
always do our own thing best. Someone else pulls this out. And like that brand voice that you guys have just nailed. Like anybody that even tries, they can't do it because it's the colors, it's the this, it's the that, it's like orange means this, whatever. But what I love about it is it's attracting people. So we realize that paving the way is one thing, but attractively. So it's something that I see as a young girl or, a woman in the trade already that I'm drawn to emotionally, because the project is the project, the home is the home, but what's going to attract people to get it the legs. Another little big thing that we have coming up, Meredith and Kristi, is women in residential construction.
Oh, yes. Thank you for mentioning
Not
that.
signed up for that yet. Please do that because it's virtual this year. We usually go to Arizona, damn, because it's like my vacation I don't get, but we're going to have tons of really good speakers in there. And one of the things that I'm speaking on in there is that I've kind of started thinking about, what does my younger self thank me for today? When you go in and you realize that when I made the decision to start my own company, and like with you guys, I'm new to earpods, Matt. I'm being
It's okay.
there.
You go. You got it. You go.
Kind of a degenerate, but I'm moving into your world. But I just think that I love the fact that through you guys and your thought and PWB and group 2 and just everybody that played a hand in that, it's attractive to people to want to listen to and see and watch.
Thank you. Yeah, I think it was a great semester, and it did remind me when Maria was talking about fresh content and about how everything's been so down and depressing and everything, that it has been really fun to share those stories of those women, because they're all excited and passionate about their job. So it's easy content, right? We just have to post stories, but
So not
to
to
be shared.
bring you after we've done yay rah rah, because people are like, yeah, right, I can't do that. But you can tell us a challenge, because some things we think that are going to be really difficult and we don't tackle something. When someone says, this was one of my challenge, you're like, I could do that. So what was the challenge?
Oh, the challenge was finding the women, honestly. I mean, 3% women in the trades and construction.
Oh,
I think we're might be a little lower than that here in Utah. Even we had a huge challenge in finding the women. I've had men that had worked in plumbing, for instance, for 25 years who told me, you will never find a woman plumber. I've never seen one. So that was like, just,
And
and
that makes you all the more determined, right?
trying to help me, like, hey, you're never going to be able to do this. Like, good luck. But we did it. It just took a lot of teamwork and a lot of reaching out. And
I want to know, where'd you find her?
nationally. Go ahead.
Where did you find her?
On Instagram. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course you did.
Oh,
That's not shocking at all.
Women of
right.
Interest.
Well, you guys, you two played into that with her. I didn't ask that question baiting you that it's like, oh, your next dream job is on Instagram. Oh, it's just, I just think of all the stuff, and I'm kind of looking at all the different things, and I think they put the house she built. But to everybody that's listening today, and then we'll pull some snippets from all of it, because things that we talked about with Maria and with you, and the marketing arm of things is how we need to think today and how we need to make people feel so that they think.
Mhm.
And that's one of the things that I think that you're doing with this house. Matt, help me with as I'm going about talking about how you make people feel, because that's a big thing that Group 2 does. And it's a big part of marketing, and you can't miss that today.
No, and it's even more important, especially now where we are, to make them feel is something that everyone, I think, we as a society are just missing out on right now. And I know on the house that she built, the brand and the logo, all of that, everything there, while I had zero to do personally with any of that, it still makes me feel right, like you're proud to be even associated with that type of project and that type of progress that you guys are looking to push forward or continuing to push forward. And I think that project as a whole, I think, is just a unbelievably powerful, positive message. And that those are the kind of things that we need to be focusing on as a general society. I think we'll all be in a lot better position.
Well, what I want to talk about for just a second, and Matt and Kristi jump in on this with me, because when we're with all of our national people, the thing is that housing is the backbone of the economy, right? So everything is up for discussion on the economy right now. And what part is housing going to play in that? We know it's going to play a huge role in everything that's going forward in 2021. So as you look at the house she built and you see that, where do you find that niche in the statement that housing and living in a home is the backbone of our economy?
Kristi?
Great question. Well, I mean, as a general contractor, my challenges this year have been in getting materials, but also in getting labor to build homes. People are looking for a change in their homes. We talked about this a little bit before we started, but they're looking for something different. They've been stuck in their homes for quarantine. A lot of people are looking to get out of cities, or people looking for more space or for a home office or whatever it might be. So there's a huge demand. And then on my side, I'm facing a lot of challenges trying to provide those homes. And one way that the house that she built really plays into that is, like I said before, 3% women in the trades and construction. If we could increase that to just 25%, how much would that help our labor? How much would that help us in being able to provide those homes for more families, because we have the people to do the work, the skilled tradeswomen? So that's our goal, is to help.
And I think the validity of the percentage that's in the industry, but also just understanding that, like Meredith said early on, that if we can all stay aware in all of our stories that we have brought out, is what the word home means. The places in a house that then are now like, that are their home, and how they live in it. Like, how do you make a kitchen table that's an office in the day a dinner table at night, where everyone convenes? So I just think, Matt, jump in on that.
I mean, I see, instead of, this is from a marketing perspective, as well as even from a really basic sales demonstration. Instead of saying, here's the kitchen, this isn't the kitchen. This is the place where you bake with your kids for years and years. This is the place where you're going to have funny conversations with your kids and your parents and all these things this is the room where these things happen. And this room over here that looks like where you would put your TV, this is where you're going to spend the next 23 Christmases. And, you know, this is where you're going to put out your milk and cookies for Santa. And over here, this isn't bedroom number 2. This is Sally's room where she's going to go through 3 different bedroom sets. And, you know, like that's how you make people feel.
Correct. And I think that everybody's staying cognizant about all those spaces and all those places, whether you have the opportunity to build a new home or it's in your current home. I always remember the story of my girls growing up, and they love it when I tell stories about them. But in one of the homes that we built, it had like this sunken was a big thing at one point. Why? You just fall off the ledge. But it had a really sunken living room, formal living room. And I, decked it out. It looked formal, blah, blah, blah. And I come to find out later that it's like we outgrew with the great room concept, not having a formal living room anyway. And my girl said, that was just the come to Jesus room, Mom. We knew when we went in there, we were in trouble. When you wanted to sit down and talk to us, it's let's go in here. So the places of what a home becomes as we live in it is something that we, from a marketing perspective and a selling perspective, need to help people envision. When we meet them, whether it's online or whether it's in a model or whether it's in a marketing piece, I think that today what we have all learned is we need to make people feel. And then how do we want them to feel when they're in a home, built by whoever it is? Because I truly believe that until someone is emotional to some degree about something, they cannot make a buying decision to anything. Until an emotion triggers, then I'm stuck. I'm just stuck, right, guys?
Absolutely. Without a doubt. I mean, when you have kids, if you have kids and you're looking at a home, you're not looking at bedroom number 2. You're looking, will this kid's furniture fit in here? Is this going to give them the privacy that they need? It's all around those people, not is this bedroom 14 by 12?
Right. So as we wrap up today, I think that the thing is Meredith has moved on to her parade, and with Kristi and Matt, the thing that we really want everybody to understand from the marketing perspective of things is that those special spaces and places that are in your home help people understand how they can feel living in those. And let the good news be, home is where the heart is. And I don't mean that as a cliche. I mean, it just might be, it is where we're going to be, and how we market it and how we sell it and how we build it, and the house that she built and all the people that were on it. We all are singing from the same hymnal right now, and we are creating our own economy because housing is the backbone of the economy. So Kristi, thanks for everything that you're doing. And Matt, as always,
Guys.
You and me, buddy.
Thanks so much, guys. Thanks, Meredith. Thanks to Maria. Thanks, everybody. Maria. And we'll see everyone in a month.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have a great week.
Bye, guys. Have a great week.
Bye-bye.